Hello, welcome back to my world of stuff. It's Sunday night. It's the 6th of August. Film night, film time. What am I going to watch in the cinema room? I've decided I'm going to watch a film I picked up a couple of weeks ago called Lola. You probably saw it in one of my pickup videos. I picked this up from Amazon, reduced fairly recently. I knew this was quite a well-regarded recent genre film. It's a sort of a time travel found footage film. It's directed by Andrew Legg and Alan Maher. Very well reviewed in the genre press and in the press generally. Making history will never be the same again. Stars Emma Appleton and Stephanie Martini. I think it's going to be very good. It's a short one. It's about 88 minutes, so it won't up 83 minutes, in fact. So I'm going to bung this in the projector player. There's the projector and the Blu-ray player, and I shall return with my thoughts on Lola. Welcome back. Well, I think I may have a new film in my top 10 list of films of the year. Wow, what a terrific film. What a terrific film. I'd heard about this film when it came out 2-3 months ago. I heard it was very good. I heard it was very intriguing time travel or time... Not exactly time travel, but a sort of a time paradox type story. Didn't get around to seeing it. As I said, I picked it up from Amazon recently for about $5.99, $6.99. And I heartily recommend that you do the same. What a very clever film. Very clever film. Now, it's a found footage film. That might be a stumbling block for a lot of people. I'm not a big fan of found footage films, mainly because they require a suspension of disbelief that's even higher than normal fantasy or adventure films or horror films or whatever, because they're always predicated upon this idea that someone's filming everything that goes on in a way that makes a coherent story. And you always get scenes in found footage films where terrible things are happening, but people are still filming it. They're still filming people running and people screaming and terrible things happening, and I don't think that is something that would happen in real life. And I think it is a problem, a slight problem with this film as well, although the film tries to address it in terms of the footage that's been used has been put together to make a film in the first place. The film is the sort of the narrative of the story and the found footage element. It's a story of this film that's been found in this a Sussex long abandoned Sussex farmhouse, which then discloses the story of two sisters during World War II, Martha and Thomasina. Thomasina played by Emma Appleton, Martha played by Stephanie Martini. I haven't heard of them before, haven't seen them before. Brilliant performances from the pair of them. Two sisters, one of them, Thomasina, is a particularly skillful engineer. Between them, they've created a device which they christen Lola. This is a device that can see into the future. When they use this for their own purposes, by looking at music in the future, they become fans of David Bowie and Bob Dylan, and they adopt, which I think is quite subtle, and it's something which slightly annoyed me at first, because they both seem like very 21st century women. They spoke like modern girls, and I think that the conceit there is that that's something that they've picked up by looking into the future to see the way that people behave when people speak. Now, whether it's sort of things in the script, there are some anachronistic lines of dialogue, because they don't look or behave like young women in the 1940s that you see traditionally. I mean, I wasn't there, I don't know what young women in the 40s were like, but these are very modern girls in a 1940s setting. And I think that we can take from that this is the things that they've absorbed culturally from looking into the future. The conceit here in the film is that they start to use Lola to change the course of the war. They look slightly forward in time. They see reports of wartime conflicts and defeats, and then anonymously they pass the information on so that the public are able to avoid where bombs are going to drop, and eventually the information falls into the hands of the army. You want to find out where this information has come from. Long story short, because I don't want to give away the twists and turns of the film, the two girls fall into not exactly the employ, but the Churchill's government and the armed forces start to use their ability to predict the future to change the course of the war. So things start happening in the war. They're able to change the outcome of certain conflicts and certain battles. One particular thing that they do have as a pivotal part in changing a specific element of World War II, and I'm trying to dance around it without spoiling too much about the film, because it's one I recommend that you track down if you can. And eventually what happens is that they are changing history, and that things that they have come to love about the future no longer exist, because what they've done in the 1940s has disrupted the flow of time. I'll give you one element of this. They become huge fans of David Bowie, and at one point they try to show David Bowie to an army friend of theirs, but they can't find him. In the future, he doesn't exist anymore. And they suddenly realise that by changing the past, they've changed the future. It's the old temporal paradox thing. You know, if you're told something's going to happen, you stop it happening. How can you stop it happening if it never happened? And that's always a fascinating paradox of time travel story. If you change the past, somebody in the future changes the past, their future doesn't happen. It's a real mind-blowing concept to deal with, and science fiction has always toyed with that idea. This film does it particularly well, though, because again, I'm not going to spoil what happens. The situation deteriorates quite rapidly when the course of the war changes, and a certain thing that doesn't happen, it becomes quite bleak. Becomes quite bleak and quite dystopian and quite gritty and grim. It's fairly light to start with. It's these two girls playing around with this device and having fun, exploring the future. And then it gets more serious, much more serious. This is a terrific film. I really enjoyed this. And I didn't know what to expect, because I'm not a massive fan of found footage. I find they stretch credibility a bit too much. But I put this on in the cinema room, and it's not a film that really benefits from being on Blu-ray, because it's all in black and white. The way it's done, it's sort of done as sort of disjointed footage, and it crackles and breaks up now and again. So it isn't a big cinematic thing. It doesn't need to be, though. It doesn't need to be. And it works all the better because of it. And I don't think it being on a big screen did it a disservice, because it thoroughly gripped me and it really pulled me in. There's some great visuals. It's a very low budget film. A lot of it takes place in one or two sort of rooms and locations. But towards the end, there's some very, very good visual effects, creating this, the consequences of what has happened. And again, I'm trying not to spoil it by saying what's happened, but there's some quite chilling imagery. And it's a very clever mix of actual stock footage from the war, the war effort, and stock footage of Hitler, very cleverly blended in with new footage that they've done for the film. Sometimes there's something, old footage looks like old footage. Modern footage, even if it tries to look like old footage, it still looks like modern footage, if you see what I mean. But they've done quite well here. The director, Andrew Legg, who co-wrote the script, he's done quite well in making it look quite contemporary. It looks, the blending with 40s footage and the modern footage for the film is very well done. But as I say, it's really striking, the visual stuff they do. In particular, a couple of scenes are really rather chilling. And I'm not going to say why, I'll leave you to discover that. if you watch the film yourself, and I recommend that you do. I don't know if it's on streaming. I imagine it's on a streaming service somewhere, but if not, pick up the Blu-ray. You can even pick up the DVD, because as I said, because of the nature of the film, the way it's made and the way it looks, you don't get a massive benefit from it being on Blu-ray. But I'm so glad I picked this up. I'm so glad I watched it, because it has now found a berth in my top 10 films of the year. This is one I will remember. It's a very good film. And even if you don't like found footage films and you find them a strain, as I do, give this one a look, because the story it's compelling and the acting is terrific and it's really very well done. It's Lola. Really a nice surprise. I'm very pleased I put this on tonight. It's only 83 minutes, but it's very, very densely packed with ideas and, as I said, some quite disturbing ideas and images. Excellent film. Lola gets from me a big solid 9 out of 10. And I just recommend you track it down and watch it. What more can I say? Thank you for watching this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, if you've stumbled across this video, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to this channel. Loads of stuff on here, film reviews and all sorts of craziness. So, yeah, stick around. Coming up next will be my review of Meg 2 The Trench. Updated schedule, I'm going to see it on Tuesday morning. So there will be a video up Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening. And I'm intrigued because the reviews have been extremely mixed. Anyway, that's for the future. Speaking of the future, Lola. Right, I'll see you soon. Until I do, keep taking the stuff.